Hey guys, this is Gloria. So I am back with my, I'm not going to call it a Christmas series, Rustic Ornament series, or anything like that, because I know the minute I call it a series, I'm not going to be able to keep up with it, and you guys are going to be upset with me. So therefore, I'm just going to call it my Rustic Ornament video take 2, maybe. So in this one, I used a poinsettia die from Tim Holtz, but you can use any poinsettia die that you have. You can use cuts from your Silhouette Cameo, or you can freehand cut some of these flowers yourself. I also used some flannel material from Joann, which is the red and black buffalo check. And then I used some Recollections glitter and some gesso. So let me show you how quickly this particular ornament can come together. So again, just to share with you guys which die I used, it is this tattered poinsettia Tim Holtz die, and that is the number, just in case you're wondering. That is the way it looks. And this die does not come with, well, mine didn't come with this embossing folder, but I think some people were able to purchase it together. But there is an embossing folder that works very well with this particular die, and it is this embossing folder right here. It comes in a 2-pack with another folder that has little bitty poinsettias all over it. And then what you can do is you can cut out your paper, and then you can actually emboss it like this, and then use some like inks or something like that to ink it up and just make it all pretty. Or you can use red paper, pink paper, what have you. But it is super pretty. One of my subbies last year hit me to this embossing folder, and I had to go and get it just so that I can use it. So that is that. I'm also, again, going to use some corrugated cardboard. Again, you can use regular cardboard. I just have this corrugated cardstock from Tuesday Morning that I'm going to use. I'm also going to use some of this, and I'm going to use this on all my ornaments so that they'll all look the same. I also used some of this acrylic gesso. And guys, tell me down below if you know if gesso spoils, because when I opened this up, it had like the water, it was separate on the top, but the problem is it kind of smells bad. So I don't know if I should toss this out or what. I mean, it didn't make my ornament smell bad, but I could smell this gesso. And I think I got this from Hobby Lobby a little while ago, so I don't know. And then, of course, I'm going to use some of my glossy accents in my precision bottle. And I'm going to use also this little bow that came from the Target dollar spot. So let me show you guys how easy it is to put this particular ornament together. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your corrugated cardboard, and you're going to cut it out, and you want all of the pieces that cut out of the die, and then you want one extra of the larger pieces for the back, and that's just to kind of fill it in a little bit more. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to sponge the edges of your corrugated cardstock. And what I use to sponge with are these little makeup sponges that come from the Dollar Tree. You get a bunch of them in the pack for $1. And so I just use these to do any of my ink blending or sponging. And so you just want just a little bit of gesso on your sponge, not much at all, and you are going to get dirty like me, so be careful with that. And all you're going to do is just sponge all of your pieces just on the little tips of it, because you're not really going to see all of it, because you are going to be stacking these on top. And just try not to get too much gesso on there, because you kind of just want it on the tips of your flowers. And if you get a little bit too much gesso in one place, just kind of go back with the sponge and just kind of wipe it off, only because you want it to go ahead and dry kind of quickly so that you can move on to the next part. And I do like using gesso because the gesso seems to be a bit thinner than the paint. But if you use paint, you can always water the paint down a little bit, or you can definitely use white stamping ink if you have any of that. That'll work fine as well. But you're just giving kind of the illusion of some snow, I guess, on there on the edges. And you definitely don't even have to do it if you don't want to. You know, it's your project. You can do it the way you want. or as my daughter says, it's your world. So just go for it. And so, you know, we all make mistakes when we're crafting, and believe me, it's easy to fix. Everything is fixable. And if not, there's always the circular recycle bin that you can toss it in. But I mean, for the most part, everything is fixable. So I just have one more that I need to sponge, and I have not put any more gesso on my sponge. I'm just pressing a little bit harder, and it still has some of the gesso, you know, embedded inside the sponge. So I'm just trying to hit these edges really well. Just hold your poinsettia, what are these things called? Petals, I guess. Hold them kind of tight around in this area because you don't want to tear your flower. So that is about it. Then you sponge all of those. I'm just going to go back with this one and try to sponge off some of it, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, it's going to be covered up. Now the two base ones, what I'm going to do is, well, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start assembling my flower. Now with the felt pieces, you don't need all of the felt pieces. The only ones that I used was the largest one, which is this one, and then I also used the second one. I did not use the smaller one or the middle part that cuts out. So you just need just those two. And what you're going to do is you're going to use your hot glue gun. Be very careful when you're using your hot glue gun, because sometimes our glue gun does not like us very much, and it wants to fight against us. So, so the first thing, well, you know what? No, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and glue it together. And so I just put some glue right there in the center, and I'm going to put this piece on top, and I'm just going to kind of make sure that I kind of offset it, because you don't want any gaps, and you want everything to kind of be, you know, to flow correctly. So that is the first layer. On top of that layer, I'm going to actually put my material one, and so I just put a little bit more hot glue in the middle, and I'm going to put my material, my flannel, or you can use paper. I'm going to put that down in the middle, and again, I'm going to try to offset it just a bit so that it won't all be in the same area. So that is that. The next thing I'm going to do is just put this one on top, and I guess you guys get the idea of this. All you're doing is you're building your little poinsettia, and so I just put that right in the middle. The next thing I'm going to do is take this one, which is the same size as this one, and I'm just going to make sure that I offset it a little bit. And what I do for that is I normally just put it on top where I want it to go, and then I lift up just the middle portion, and I put some hot glue right in the middle so that it's in the perfect location for me. So that is our flower so far. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put on our last little piece, which is this one right here, and we're just going to figure out, you know, exactly where we want it. And we're going to put some hot glue underneath that and put that one on. Strings everywhere, hot glue strings everywhere. Okay, so that is our flower so far. So the next thing that you're going to do after that is you're going to take your hanger part. So we need a little piece of twine to hang this thing with. And so I'm just going to cut off a little length of twine, however long you want your little hanger part to be. And then again, you're going to glue these two together first. So I just put a little bit of glue right in the middle of these two, and I kind of pinch them together so that they're together. And then I take the glue and I put it right on the back, and whichever way is going to be your top, you're just going to put your hanger on there. So now the hanger is there, and so then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the outside poinsettias. And you don't have to do this, but I just thought that it looked super pretty. So I'm just going to bring in my little scrap paper, and all I do, and the reason why I do this second to last is because then this way I don't have to waste time putting glitter where it doesn't need to be. All I'm doing is I'm putting the glossy accents where you're going to see the tips. And I'm trying to, again, do this up in the air, so let me just put it down so that I can see it a little bit better. Glossy accents doesn't dry that quick, so you could just go around your whole little piece, and all you're going to do is just do the back parts of your ornament. And I'm just putting glossy accents on, and then I am rotating it so that I can get to the next one. And once you got all of that glued, you can dump on your glitter. Just make sure that you have a piece of scrap paper underneath so that you can catch all of your precious glitter, and put it back in the jar when you get done with it. And again, I'm using the Recollections chunky glitter from Michaels. I picked this up either last year or earlier this year, and all I'm doing is just sprinkling it on the tips of the ornament where I put the glossy accents, and then just turn it over and give it a few taps on the back to make sure that all of the excess glitter is off of your ornament. And then make sure that you put all that precious glitter back inside of your container so that you can use it for your next project. So that is that. And then for the middle portion, you can use a dab of hot glue. You can also use a glue dot if you have one, but I'm just going to use hot glue because I find it easier to use, and I'm running out of hot glue, so I'm just going to put that there, and then dump some of my glitter in the middle, and then dump it off again. And that is my middle portion all done. Okay, and I'll put that back in a moment. So that is that. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this bow and we're just going to put it right up top where the hanger is. And so these bows came from Target, and they came out of the dollar spot section, and they have this little, I don't know, glue dot thingy on the back. And so I just kind of peeled off as much as I could, and then I'm going to, well, I guess I have to grab myself another glue stick. So, as soon as I can figure out what I did with my glue sticks. I'll be right back, guys. Let me find my glue sticks. Hey guys, sorry about that. I am back, and I cannot find any of my clear glue sticks. It's the craziest thing ever because I knew I have some. So I used the black glue stick. But I do still have a little bit of clear left inside of the gun. So I'm just going to put a little bit of clear, or, just glue at the top there for the hanger part. And that is about it. That is my little ornament, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this little mini tutorial on how to create a rustic ornament using your dies and your supplies that you may already have. This is the first one here. It doesn't have the red bow at the top, but I think it looks super cute as well. So as always, guys, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.